Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to my reading journey. Today we have an evening edition of our program, so we're gonna be quick today. I'm gonna read it to you quickly. You're gonna listen to me quickly. So let me remind you: the story is the moment of victory, the second part. Let's do this. Hello, Willie, says Mira. What are you doing to yourself in the glass? I'm trying to look fly, says Willie. Well, you never could be fly, says Mira with her special laugh, which was the provoking jest. Provoking jest. Who knows? Provoking jest. Whatever. Sound I ever heard except the rattle of an canteen. Empty canteen. No idea. Against my saddle horn. I looked around at Willie after Mira had gone. He had a kind of a lily white look of him, which seemed to show that her remark had, as you might say, this disrupted his soul. Disrupted. Could be disrupted. I never noticed anything in what she said that sounded practical, particularly destructive to a man's ideas of self-consciousness, but he was set back to an extent you could scarcely imagine. Scarcely. An extent. All right. After we went downstairs with our clean collars on, Willie never went near Mira again that night. After all, he seemed to be a deluded, deluded deluded kind of a skim milk sort of a chap. No idea also. And I never wondered that Joy Granbury beat him out. The next day, the battleship Maine was blown up, and then pretty soon somebody, I reckon it was Joy Bailey, or Bent Tillman, or maybe the government, declared war against Spain. Well, everybody south of Mason and Hamlin's line knew that the North by itself couldn't whip a whole country the size of Spain. So the Yankees commenced to holler for help, and the Johnny Rebs answered the call. We are coming, Father Willem, 100,000 strong and then some, was the way they sung it. And the all-party lines drawn by Sherman's March and the Ku Klux and 9-cent cotton and the Jim Crow streetcar ordinances faded away. We became one in undivided country, with no north, very little east, a good-sized chunk of west, and a south that loomed up as big as the first foreign label in a new $8 suitcase. Of course, the dogs of war weren't a complete pack without a yelp from the San Augustine Rifles, Company D, of the 14th Texas Regiment, Regiment. Our company was among the first to land in Cuba and strike terror into the hearts of the foe. I'm not going to give you a history of the war. I'm just dragging it out. I'm just dragging it in to fill out my story about Willie Robbins, just as the Republican Party dragged it in to help out the election in 1888. 1898. If somebody ever heard hero it hero it is heroitis 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 had heroitis, it was that Willie Robbins. From the minute he set foot on the soil of the tyrants of Castile, he seemed to engulf danger, as a cat laps up cream. He certainly astonished every man, in our company, from the captain up. You'd have expected him to gravitate naturally to the job of an orderly, to the colonel of typewriter in the commissionary, but not any. He created the part of the flaxen-haired boy hero who leaves and gets back home with the goods instead of dying with an important dispatch in his hands at his colonel's feet. Our company got into a section of Cuban scenery where one of the messiest and the most using portions of the campaign occurred. We were out every day capering in the bushes and having little skirmishes with the Spanish troops that looked more like kind of tired out feuds. Feuds, feds, than anything else. The war was a joke to us and of no interest to them. We never could see it any other way than as a howling farce comedy that the San Augustine Rifles were actually fighting to uphold the stars and stripes. And the blame little Sanners didn't get enough pay to make them care whether they were patriots or traitors. Now and then somebody would get killed. It seemed like a waste of life to me. I was at Coney Island when I went to New York once, and one of them, downhill, skidding apparatuses. No idea. They call roller coasters. Flew their track and killed a man in a brown sack suit. Whenever the Spaniards shot one of our men, it struck me as just about as unnecessary and regrettable as that was. But I'm dropping Willie Robbins out of the conversation. He was out for bloodshed, laurels, bloodshed, laurels, ambition, medals, recommendations, and all other forms of military glory. and he didn't seem to be afraid of any of the recognized forms of military danger, such as Spaniards, cannonballs, canned, canned beef, gunpowder, or nepotism. He went forth. He went forth with his plaited hair and china blue eyes, and ate up Spaniards like you would sardines a la canopy, wars and rumbles, wars, rumbles, wars. Never flustered, never fluster him. He would stand guard duty, mosquitoes, hard track, treat, and fire with equally perfect anonymity. Anonymity. Not anonymity, but anonymity. Animity. Remember this. No blondest in history ever came in comparison distance of him except Jack of Diamonds and Queen Catherine of Russia. I remember one time a little caballard of Spanish men sauntered out from behind a patch of sugar cane and shot Bob Turner, the first sergeant of our company, while we were eating dinner. As required by the army regulations, we fellows went through the usual tactics of falling into line, saluting the enemy and loading and firing, kneeling. Alright, guys. We're gonna see you each other tomorrow. See you. Bye. Thank you for joining me today. Tomorrow.